Hello everyone, would you look at that? I took a day off and Wargaming shows up directly with a brand new big gift for 2.0, which is a brand new free tech tree branch. This is not a surprise to be honest for me, but we'll go look into that. Let's read briefly through the rewards informations. I'm sure you already seen all the videos and all the news on the site, so I'm not gonna go into details. Let's just read briefly through it. Free tech tree branch, a full tier 6 to 10 tech tree branch included in this year's well-deserved reward, an exclusive special reward for the incredible year we had with the biggest update ever. Your annual rewards based on your years of service, featuring tokens, valuable in-game items, and tier 7 British heavy tank, the brand new Black Prince number 2, and the best of the 2.0 gift meets the 2.0 gift grab. Grab your highlights again, including tech tree branches and a host of bonus rewards. This is your second chance to claim what you didn't manage, so it lets you also grab what you didn't grab in September, I guess. Let's go to the first one. Get your free tech tree branch. No matter your service record or tank, every commander can claim a tech tree branch from 6 to 10 as a special gift. This is your perfect chance to get closer to powerful tier 11 vehicles. Pick your favorite nation, explore new rides, and roll out in a tier 11 beast. Remember, while the well-deserved rewards runs until November 2023, your tech tree claim is available only from 3 December until 2.11 mid-January, okay? So guys, this is important. From 3 up until 14th of January or something like that, 15, do not wait all year. Just log in, get your tech tree, or maybe think about it for like a week or two, but do not wait too much because you might forget about it. Who knows, maybe you're not that active. It doesn't run with well-deserved rewards all the year, yeah? So well-deserved rewards can be grabbed up until November 2026, so before the patch of Christmas of 2026 2027. So 2027, oh my god, I'm old. Okay, so this is insane. Obviously the well-deserved rewards, whoever is in between this rank from 4 years on, you get also this Black Prince, which seems like a cool tank. From warrior under, you cannot get the Black Prince. That's the only big difference. Obviously the tokens, so you can calculate here what you can grab. It's funny because in my video about holiday ops, if you haven't checked for the plan of holiday ops farming, please check it out. Go ahead, and it can be useful for you to increase your efficiency in farming. But with that aside, I talked about the possibility of having high chance of having a tank destroyer or a Chinese tier 11 again, because we only had the busy, and especially I mentioned Japan being a high priority for sure to add tier 11. But it was cute because I nailed it more or less. I named a few more nations, but still I said that this could be a priority, and that's what happens. They are adding Chinese tank tier 11 and they're adding Japanese heavy tank tier 11. So Chinese TD tier 11, Japanese heavy tank tier 11. Why am I showing you this? Because if we look at the tech tree, this means that with the new gift that you get tier 6 to tier 10, you can even prepare to get your tier 11 once they add it, right? So let's say right now you don't want to unlock anything else. You have everything you need. You want to try the tier 11s that are upcoming, but you don't have the brand. Let's say you don't have the tier 10 Chinese or the tier 10 Japanese, the type. Make sure you unlock these in order to be ready for the tier 11 at least. I would say think about it this way. If there's a line you don't like to play, so for sure I don't think I would enjoy playing this. I'm not saying that it's not a great tank, it's just not my type. In that situation is the best time to choose tier 6 to tier 10 for a line you don't play. For example, in September, I grabbed the Italian Minotauro because I knew I would hate to play Bassotto. I knew I would hate to play all these. Maybe the tier 9 wouldn't have been that bad to play, but I knew for sure. So I grabbed that Minotauro even though it doesn't have a tier 11. Someday it will. So you're not going wrong even if there's no tier 11 on that brand. My advice is if there's a line you like the tier 9, tier 10s, but you never liked to or wanted to grind the tier 6, 7, 8, 9 and spend free experience, then it's a good chance to use it for that. I use it for Minotaur without tier 11, so don't feel bad about it. It's still a good investment. I'm sure they will add tier 11s for all the line. Now on this video I want to have a small discussion with you guys and let me know what you think about this. If you have any ideas or if you have any thoughts on this, I want to understand what's your opinion on this addition of another tier 10 for free. Even if you're a new player, you get this you can get up to 3 new players can claim up to 3 tech 3 branches, which means they can get the September missed one. So season commanders get up to 2 in total. Historic opportunity for available 3 from December 3 on. The idea I want to discuss with you is that, do you find it okay to add tier 10 players, brand new noobs, and join the game directly in the toughest, hardest battles? Do you think this is good for a new player to experience playing against top super unicorns, since there's no matchmaking on skill level? Do you find that okay? I mean, I do understand on a side that you're trying to push the fun part of the game, but at the same time the best players tend to play tier 9, 8, 10. Major part of the super unicorns or super good players do not play tier 6 to tier 7, tier 8. Lately tier 8 has been growing in popularity. Do you think that a player can learn mechanics by going in the hottest battles? I want to hear your opinion on that, because if you want to allow me to share my opinion, this game major difference between a good and a bad player is the experience, map knowledge, rotations, and knowing tanks you play against. And if you have a new player that goes to tier 10, definitely the chance to quit for that player is very, very high. A player that plays at tier 6 has more chance. He will meet less tougher tanks and he will meet less unicorns. He will meet more casual players, so more chance for them to resist in a battle and have some enjoyment from one and learn the tough way. It's still tough to play lower tiers, I'm not saying it's not, but it's not the same situation when someone goes to tier 9 or tier 10 and gets tier 11. So I divided these minimum requirements, what I think wargaming should consider if you give these free tech trees for new accounts. While it's true that you cannot understand if whoever's making the new account is a smurf, there could be smurfs that will be able to play tier 10 directly, right? Because what they are doing, they are just grabbing the new tanks, they're just grabbing the lines, the gifts and whatever, and they create a new account so they have other stats or whatever other reasons they decided to make new accounts for, which is kind of not okay either, right? Well, why do you allow so many accounts for one person also is a bit weird to me. But let's say you allow that and you ask them at start, are you a veteran player or are you a newcomer? In fact, we should add this here. Are you a newcomer or are you a veteran? Maybe when they create a new account, are you a newcomer or are you a veteran, right? If the person is a veteran that wants to start a new account and have the tech trees, nobody stops anyone to make a second account. Like, I could make a new account and play with new tanks that I don't have on my main, but I am not a new player, so I'm supposed to be able to play at any tier, right? Since I have the experience and I said I'm a veteran, right? Veteran, I consider someone that played at least 1,000, 3,000 battles, not necessarily in years on how many years someone played. To make you understand is that the idea, if you answer you're a newcomer, I feel like you should not be allowed to play tier 10 for at least a number of battles. I don't want to sound too rough or anything, but this is for the benefit of also you, the new player. Why? Because if you don't have the minimum battles, which can be discussable, let me know what you think. Maybe 1,500 battles, 3,000 battles. How many battles would be enough for a player to be allowed to join the tier 10, 9, 11? Because that's where the tough battles happens and that's where the tough grief happens. If you get a tier 10 top tier and it's a new player in your team, and then you get the top tier, which is just one, let's say the rest of the tanks are tier 9, your tier 10 is a noob, yeah, and he's the most important tank, but let's say he's the only heavy tank, and against you have a tier 10 heavy tank that is a super unicum. You will lose that battle because that guy will be able to carry while your guy will go in the open and be mid and be easy to farm. While we have fun farming new casual players, don't get me mistaken, I am very like. This is not a good approach because first you grief your team and second you grief yourself. You're not gonna learn shit from that, right? So why are you in that battle? That's the question. And I think like wargaming should safeguard this situation by adding a minimum battles to the guy that said newcomer. Yes, you would know that this guy should not be allowed to play tier 9, tier 10, tier 11. Here comes the next question. Once we stabilize how many battles they need to play at least, which is the tier we block, right? At tier 7, they can still get tier 9, so they can still get super unicums and really good players, right? And grief your team. Tier 9 is very big in fame right now, so is tier 7 the minimum we should lock them? Like the newcomer cannot play more than tier 7, so he cannot choose tier 8 if he doesn't play at least 3,000 battles or whatever we decided here. Do you find this fair? Do you find it unfair? How do you think about this? Should we bring it up to 8 so he can find tier 10s? But in my opinion, from tier 8 on, it becomes very dangerous to play. Out of those free tanks you gave them, you just allow them to play all the tiers up until tier 7. Once they reach the number of battles we need a minimum, then they can go free to access tier 11. even tier 11, I don't care. You can join, you play your battles, your minimum, you demonstrated that you're still playing, and at least you should be learning. If you're not learning, your problem, you're getting farmed. But I feel like it's unfair for new players, and it's unfair for players that get the new player in their team, while in the other team they might get some professional. Another argument I want to touch with you is, why do you think the wargaming is pushing so much and so fast for players to reach tier 11? Because they're giving you this access to tier 10, because they want you to be able to get to tier 11 faster. Why? There are two possibilities in my mind. Tier 11 is not as played as they wish. After they gave you this free tier, which was making sense in September, right? It helps us get a tier 11, which we didn't expect, right? Maybe I don't like grinding tanks and I played the same premium tanks, but hey, they motivated me to get a tier 11 because they gave me a free tier 10. So that made sense back then, and they want you to play tier 11 because we just added them and we want to see players play. But now a few months passed and maybe they realized people are not playing that much tier 11 as they wanted. So maybe now they're giving you another tier 10 to get a tier 11 that maybe you seem to like, or maybe it's OP or something, some reason made you want to get it, but you don't want to grind again, so they push you again and give you this chance to get it. That's the first chance. The other second chance, which is crazy, that's why I put like this. Do not get mad at me or anything. Let me know what you think about this and if it's a possibility. Tier 11 is the new modern tier 1. What do you think about this? Because what if the reason why the upgrades are different, like you don't have that upgrade with field upgrades anymore, you have a complete new way to upgrade. Tier 11, which seemed to be not needed. Maybe you could have added more nations and get tier 10s. But what I started thinking is that what if the tier 11 is actually a new modern era with the other tanks game that we don't know what's gonna happen with, and it had new tanks and modern stuff? What if they at some point stopped and thought about it and said, hey, what if we just add a new modern era in the actual original World of Tanks, and maybe someday it could separate from World of Tanks Classic, like Warcraft, to World of Tanks Modern? I don't know, we're just brainstorming. But what if this is true? What if this Leopard 120 or Tashkent Rate is the first tier 1 of the new modern era? What if there will be tier 5 modern? So imagine a tier 15, which would be tier 5 modern era, right? Right now the Tashkent Rate seems OP because it has all this new stuff and it faces the tier 10s. But if you will have tier 12 and there will be new abilities and new stuff and new passives and new active abilities, right? Maybe this will become more mediocre, and maybe at some point they will have enough players to separate it as a brand. Right now, obviously, they don't have the possibility to do this because they will separate too much the tank. You cannot make a modern era with just one tier, but they want to introduce people to it. I don't know, this is just a brainstorming and I was thinking about sharing it with you. Let me know what you think about this, because I am really curious if I'm just delusional right now. Without further ado, go grab your gifts after December 3rd. I will probably get either BZ or maybe even skip through the mouse to get the shock and locking. But I don't know what I will grab. What are your thoughts on this, and how are you planning to get your beautiful gifts for 2025? Are you ready for holiday ops? Because I am. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you with the next one. Peace.